Let's go.
Okay, we're live.
All right, so, oh, wait, no, I need the individuals too. Okay, so, I think that's from Thursday. So Wade's printing for Friday. All right, so, Alex, let's talk about what happened in the last, 10 days for you working, doing the Marcos deals. I mean, how have you, what has changed in your mindset about what happens when you push out 30 sets of docs in what, basically 11 days, 12 days, right? What has changed in your mindset about how that sort of production occurs?
Well, I mean, it gives me an idea of actually seeing it in Golden Gate of I want it to be my stuff and my income, first of all, but it teaches me, I think the biggest lesson is being highly organized and working the deals quickly. It's either there or it's not there. Work through them and get to the next deal. In the very beginning, I was kind of getting bogged up a little bit, so it was taking too long deal to deal, but corrected that, good to go.
And so you actually you've gotten a taste of what it actually could be like too, if your name was on all of those deals as well, right?
Definitely.
I mean, they're life-changing opportunities, right? So just a message here as we start Monday. So, a couple things have happened in this weight loss thing for me, right? I went from 330 pounds down to basically 285 pretty quick. And then I lost in the same week, my trainer no-called, no-showed for the second time, so I had to get rid of him, right? I mean, you can't have people on your team doing that. If I'm getting my ass up at 6 o'clock, I need to know that somebody's gonna be there, right? But then that same week, the chef says she's not making any money cooking anymore, so she bails, right? That's like wheels off for me, right? I mean, that was a scary moment for me, right? And I failed because I had started to ask myself, I started to tell myself things like, I can eat that ice cream, I can stop off at Rita's on the way home, it's okay, right? Or, I'm disciplined enough, I got enough grit, I can do my own workouts, right? And I can cook my own foods, right? It's tough. It's hard to do that. So I sort of got derailed. I put on about 10 pounds. And then really lost focus of what I was trying to get to, which was 250 pounds, right? That's 80 pounds. But here's the thing that's even more important. I didn't think I could lose 80 pounds in the first place. So the moral of this story of this weight loss is when you actually start to look at things, I would look at myself in the mirror at 330 pounds and be like, man, I'm in pretty good shape. No one at 330 pounds is in pretty good shape, all right? Not even if you play in the NFL are you in good shape at 330 pounds. But that's what you play in the NFL at. You don't coach a kid's soccer team at 330 pounds. It's absurd, right? But who in this audience, who in our group is asking ourselves these things? Are we looking at ourselves in the mirror and seeing something completely different than what it is in reality, right? Are we seeing ourselves as a player and a big spender and a high roller, but the bank account doesn't reflect that? I mean, I'm looking at myself thinking I was 225 pounds and I'm 330. It's totally different self-image of really what the reality was, right? And so you got to at some point make that decision. For me, it was the doctor saying, how many 330-pound 80-year-olds do you know? And the answer is none. Why? Because they're all freaking dead. That's why. You don't make it to that age, right? But I tell you, when you start to think about it, man, even in my workout this morning, I'm saying to myself, they gave us 3 cones that you could run to on this thing, you had a bear crawl, right? So you got to do all these exercises, and then you got a bear crawl, and it was far. First cone, second cone, third cone, right? Which one are you going to go to? I went to the first one. That was it, man. I took the path of least resistance. I was exhausted. And these other guys were just blowing by me. Bear crawling. I mean, it was figure about the whole distance of this parking lot here. Bear crawling after you've done your squats and your curls and all that sort of stuff, right? I mean, it's freakazoid kind of stuff. But I took the path of least resistance and I said to myself, this is enough, right? This is it. If I go any higher, my heart rate's going to go to 180. I already got my heart rate up to 190 during one of these workouts, which is like major danger zone, like heart going to blow up kind of danger zone, right? But how does it relate to work? I mean, do we do the same damn thing? Do we just make the 40 calls when we know we need to make the 70? Do we just talk for an hour when we know we need to talk for 3, right? How often do we pull that throttle back when we know we should be slamming it down? How often do we say, I can get the ice cream, I can cheesesteak when we know we shouldn't. Look, I thought you could have a cheat day in this eating program. Does anyone know this? You can't have a cheat day. You can have a cheat meal per week, but you can't have a cheat day. Does anyone know this about weight loss? I didn't. Who knows this? Do you know this, Alex? I mean, maybe you can eat whatever you want, right? But when you're on a weight loss program, you can't have a cheat day. Because cheat day for me was pancakes, was, Jersey Mike's Giant, which is about this freaking big. It's probably 3,000 calories. Pizza, 2 Ritas. Sometimes I'd hit Ritas and then I'd hit DQ. Right? That was my cheat day. They now tell me you can have a cheat meal per week. Right? How many of us in here have cheat day after day after day, right? When really what we should be doing is having maybe a cheat hour or a cheat 2 hours, right? But yet we let one day turn into 2 days, turn into 3 days. Before you know it, it's a week. 1 week turns into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turns into 3 weeks. And now you got wheels off, okay? So how do we relate weight loss to what we're doing in this office? First thing is we got to pick the goal. You got to have a reason to get started and make the change. For me, it was the doctor telling me that. For me, it was pain in my legs and in my back. You guys saw me walking around. I could hardly walk. Guess what? I'm having a little back trouble again, right? Because I'm cranking up these workouts, having a little back trouble again. But I also put on those 10 pounds. So it tells me that my weight needs to be in that 260. That's my sweet spot. That's I think where I'm most healthy. But I'm going to get to 250. I did the 21-day fitness challenge with MyFitFoods. Anybody seen that? I said, to hell with it, I'm just doing it. So I signed up on Saturday. She asked me the ultimate closing question too, which was, are you starting tomorrow? And I said, oh, that's a good close. I said, it's Saturday at 4 o'clock. I go, most people would say, I'll start Monday, right? And she's like, exactly. I said, I'll fucking start today. I'll start right now. That's how serious I am about it. So I did everything she told me to do with the, you know what it is? It's the cranberry with the apple cider vinegar, with the lemon, you know this thing? The liver cleanse, all that sort of stuff. I felt better. I feel better already. 24 hours of eating better, I feel better already. But doesn't that happen to us when we spend 24 hours busting our ass in this office? Don't you feel better when you bang those 75 calls in 4 hours on the phone? You basically say to yourself, I may not have gotten what I wanted out of it, but I at least took the swings, right? But what happens when we don't? When we make the 30 calls in the 1 hour and we do it day after day after day, we all know what's going on. It's just like me stopping at the Rita's. I stop at the Rita's and say, can I eat it before I get home so my kids don't see me eating the ice cream? We're cheating ourselves, man. Don't do that. Don't do it. We had an incredible June in here. Got back to the basics, got back to fundamentals. Let's not do a wheels off. It's from this point on. This is what we're doing in here. These are the numbers. Alex is a guy who saw it firsthand, the difference between operating as an account manager, barely hitting minimums, that's not what I'm saying you were doing, and a guy, a national sales manager who's killing it. When you start to run the numbers on the difference, guys, it's life-changing money, right? Totally different ballgame. So we're going to close this now. I'd like to move into the sales meeting after this, but I want you to explore it just a little bit more with us, okay?
Good.
All right, any questions, anything? Anybody want to do a 21-day fitness challenge with me? See what they can get down to?
I'm in, boss.
You're in?
Yep.
Let's go. Let's get to MyFitFoods, 21-day fitness challenge, and eat the food. It's a lot of food, by the way. When she gives me the thing, I was like, I can't eat that much food. But I was hungry all day yesterday. So I pick it up Monday. Hey, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I didn't realize. I didn't realize how many times I let myself quit when I was eating that way. I didn't realize it because I was like multiple times. Drove by the McDonald's, I could just get the dip cone. Drove by Rita's, I'll just get a small with extra chocolate sprinkles, right? I kept saying to myself, man, I'd love a California pizza kitchen right about now, right? I didn't do any of it. But my mind was telling me quit. My mind was telling me quit. Don't do it, it's not worth it. How many times does our mind tell us that in this office where we say, you don't need to push harder. We need to push harder. We need more discipline. All right, let's rock and roll. Thanks, everybody. Let's go into our sales meeting. Thank you, guys. Alex, let's get back into it just